Hello art peeps, welcome to this special Let's Draw vid, which relates to the Winnipeg Fringe Festival and a diptych I did, which was called The Crowd at Old Market Square. As with any project proposal, and this is the first step, is to do a sketch. This is a sketch of the proposed piece. So a diptych, like I stated, 2 works. I have these photographic references of the area, which is Old Market Square in Winnipeg. Just drawing this out so that I can present that as part of the proposal. I was fresh off of showing 4 murals at the Forks, which is the National Historic Site in Winnipeg, and I had to explore the crowd further. I wanted to put the crowd into an environment. It was something that interested me. The Forks crowds were a different exploration of crowd dynamics and the loss of individualism within that crowd. This one here, I wanted to look at the individuals within an event and how their personalities bounce off one another within that crowd. And that's what my main intention was. Here I'm just doing the sketch, just showing you a brief kind of inking. I'd already sketched out with pencil and had to proceed to ink it, and that's what I'm doing here. Now, a proposal is composed of a few different things. It's one of those technicalities that an artist has to do to build and present the work before, in most cases, it's accepted. And that's what I'm doing here as the first stages. I also had to research a bit of who I would get in touch with. The executive producer in particular is who I submitted this to. Took a little bit of work, a little bit of digging, had to ask around. And that's something you're going to have to do. Find out who you're going to be submitting it to and cater the project to them. Make it something that they're going to be interested in and something that works for the event or the environment, whatever the situation may be for the public art proposal. I consider these things definitely intended on doing commentary on the crowd within the crowd, and I knew that the best place for it would be an event like the Fringe and at Market Square where there's just hordes of people going through there. As I'm inking this, I know it's going to change. It'll change dramatically on the finished piece because art evolves, and that's important to know. To tell you what's going to play out in this video, I'm showing you obviously the proposal, and I'll break that down. I'll show you the production of the piece with some little pop-ups explaining materials and some ideas behind the work, and a wrap-up where I will show you the work on display. Now, the proposal here, it started with just an intro letter introducing myself, what my intention was. I have an artist at the actual project proposal with those sketches that I drew, as you've seen already. To give them an idea of what I'm working on, I made it clear that the work would evolve as it's being produced so that there was no misunderstandings. Here is the actual venue where I wanted to show it. I did some mock-ups in Photoshop. I showed some of my previous work, the Forks, as I mentioned. And an artist statement is vital. You got to have that. And a bio, but basically just my life as an artist. Curriculum vitae, very important, shows your resume of art, where you've shown, those sort of things. I submitted the proposal with my business card as well to promote NIM Productions. And it took about 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, and I heard back that indeed the Fringe was accepting the work. Now, production had to start. I grabbed 2 4x8s, set them up, and let's get into that right now. We're going to slow it down for just a moment here as we transition from that faraway view that you've been watching where everything is sped up to a more intimate, close view. The reason being, it's detail time, and the details are vital for a piece like this. These are characters now. You've seen this happen. You've seen the composition built, the trees, the stage, each of them put into place. Now we have to bring them out as individuals, and that's going to take the details. So I'm going to zoom in. You're going to see. I'll use maybe some, obviously I'm going to use smaller brushes, but maybe some pens, and I'll discuss some of it, and I won't bore you with the details of all of them. It would just take too long. But a few key ones, and we'll discuss it and talk about that relationship to them as character, individual, and environment. So now it's minutia time. So let's get this done. something was not right as far as the layout, and me thinking about the food trucks in particular in the back. There was some kind of issue with the layout of how I had it. So I went there, took a few pictures, and came up with a new solution as far as how it should look. So this is the new breakdown. Pretty much all of this was painted out right here. All of this. New trees put in to be more indicative of how it actually is, because there's these series of trees which are on the border of the actual sort of open field ahead of the cube. So I had to create those trees there. There's a little ramp that's behind these people, and the stairs right here. So I had to completely restructure that, but I think it's a good thing because I got some really great characters that popped out of this. This right here, happy girl, and this guy, happy guy, I guess. So some nice ones. So let's go with it and evolve it as it goes. And that happens. Things like that happen where you have to restructure things. Something's not working, you have to rebuild it. That's part of the process. You have to go with it and let it take you on that ride.
here we are at the Fringe where the artwork is now up in the venue where it's participating with the crowd that goes by it. So what happened was they decided to put it one on each side as opposed to side by side. The reason being the 16 feet was just too much. But that's okay because here it's actually facing two different directions, which is great. So this side here, I've sort of, which is this back side over here, is facing that direction, and we'll see in just a minute the other side as well. But I mean, it becomes part of the crowd even at this level, you know, where it's kind of tucked away behind the street. It does become part of the actual crowd that is passing by and engaging with it. What's that? Yeah, I painted it. Which medium? It's a white is acrylic, all the ink is.